minutes will not be today. Therefore, we can just start with the main topic of today, namely meditation. And instead of just starting immediately with the practice of meditation, I would like to say a few words about meditation. Not that I think that you don't know about it, but still, we can't hear enough about it. And maybe you might hear some different aspects about meditation than you're used to, because there are different kinds of techniques, methods, ideas, and practices. And not that I have the final solution and the best method of them all, but it's good to know what we are talking about, I suppose. So meditation in general is, in the Buddhist sense anyway, the word bhavana is used in the Pali language for mental development or development of the mind. And that can be done in different ways. Therefore, roughly speaking, we have these two categories, the samatha bhavana, which is the tranquility meditation, any kind of technique which will lead to calming of the mind, and therefore called tranquility meditation. That's one type or one category with many, many subcategories, actually. If you look at the, for instance, the path of purification of Buddhaghosa, many types of tranquility meditation are there. And then we have the other category, namely the insight meditation, or the vipassana or vidarshana bhavana. So that is a distinctly different type of meditation, which the other tranquility meditation cannot give us, namely insight into the reality and the things as they really are. The tranquility meditation is able to suppress maybe thoughts and feelings and things like that temporarily by focusing on a chosen object, maybe an internal object or an external object, or a mantra or something like that, where you are focusing your attention on that thing and excluding the other objects which might come through your ears or eyes or nose or body or mind, by in that way try to suppress the external objects and focus on that particular chosen object. Now, that is something that people believe, a lot of people believe, that means when you are focusing on an object and you're successful and you have managed to concentrate deeply on that particular object, which is very difficult, and most people don't achieve that. And then they start saying, well, I cannot meditate because I cannot concentrate. And therefore I'm a failure. And therefore I will not even try to meditate because it is so difficult. Well, that would be a pity, because it's a wrong concept that they're clinging to, namely that they're thinking that you have to focus on one object and exclude all other objects. And only when you manage to concentrate deeply and your mind is not going here and there, then only you are successful in your meditation. But in the vipassana meditation or insight meditation, mindfulness meditation, as it is also called, satipatthana and bhavana, we are aware, supposed to be aware of the different objects as they come and go, which means that it is a kind of inclusive and not exclusive type of awareness. You are aware of the object as they come. You pay attention to them. But the art of the matter is that you don't cling to them, you don't condemn them, and you don't sort of try to get involved in them. You just see them coming and going, and you observe them as a neutral observer. Sarat Sirite, and can you off your mic, please? So in that case, actually, you see, the meditation becomes a different kind of thing, not forceful and trying to suppress and feeling that you have to achieve something, but rather that you're sitting as a neutral observer and not getting involved in any of these things. Have your mindfulness and your equanimity, sati and upekha, going as much as possible. Be away and aware and watching the internal, external, mental and physical, all kinds of objects coming and going. You start seeing that these objects are never remaining exactly the same. What we thought was solid kind of object turns out to be a fluid kind of changing, impermanent something. So that is why the characteristic of anicca is becoming clear to the practitioner of mindfulness meditation or vipassana. When you look at it, you see, oh, it is not what I thought, but it is changing all the time. And if it is changing all the time, why should I cling to it? So the clinging aspect may be becoming less and less because of the insights that are growing. And what we used to think as pleasant and beautiful and happy and all that kind of positive denominations of things turn out to be, really speaking, unsatisfactory or dukkha, not 100% having the capacity to give us permanent satisfaction. Maybe temporary pleasure, which is worldly happiness, laukika sukha, but not real, permanent, peaceful happiness. So that is another aspect that we start to see, namely, all conditioned things are dukkha or unsatisfactory. Not that they are suffering, suffering, suffering. That is what people sometimes try to translate the word dukkha as, and then the Buddha seems to be or have been what you call a real pessimist, because from birth to death, everything is dukkha, 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 dukkha. And people, when you think the translation that the Pali Text Society may have given in the beginning, that dukkha means suffering, 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 but it actually means unsatisfactoriness, cannot give us real peace and happiness. But that's the second aspect that we start to learn through vipassana meditation or mindfulness. The third aspect that we start to see is the non-self nature of everything. And that includes actually the thing which is called the nirvanic aspect. All the other things were what's called conditioned. All conditioned things are anicca, sabbe sankhara anicca. All conditioned things are dukkha. So sabbe sankhara dukkha. And in the third case, it says sabbe dhamma anatta. All the things, that is the things which we call conditioned, which is almost everything except for nirvana, But also nirvana is not me, mine, myself, or my soul, which some people actually seem to believe. There are certain schools in Hinduism where the unnameable and the unthinkable and the unconditioned are considered to be my real self with a capital S. And therefore, it's a slight or major difference between the thoughts of Hinduism and Buddhism, but we're not going to, how do you say, have a war of words about it, because if we realize the truth about it, then there's no more fighting about any of it. So these three characteristics, the three lakshana, is the main thing that we get to see through the practice of mindfulness meditation or satipatthana or vipassana. So a lot of people have been able to get in touch.
Again muted. Okay, now.
Again muted.
Now all right. Now all right. Good. No.
Yeah, I have things going on. Right. So then, now I suppose you can, oh no. I hope that you can hear me now.
Yes, Venerable, yes.
Okay, then we'll keep it this way. Good that it happened before the actual meditation, and I just was able to wrap up the introduction about the Vipassana meditation. What I was starting to say was that Vipassana meditation has become very famous around the world, probably because of S.N. Goenka, who has opened about 150 meditation centers called Vipassana meditation centers. And people started to believe that it was Goenka who had invented Vipassana meditation, forgetting that it was the Buddha who actually started practicing Vipassana after his teachers only were practicing and teaching him Samatha Bhavana. So we must give credit to the Buddha for starting the Vipassana meditation, and to Goenka for reintroducing it into India, where it was almost lost. Maybe a few yogis were practicing it, Buddhist yogis also, but mostly now lay people around the world also, and some monks also came to the courses of Goenka and started practicing this Vipassana meditation. In that case, I should say that they have in the 10-day course, which you are supposed to attend in the beginning, you have to do at least 3 of those, I think, before you can go on to the next stage. Every time you are asked to observe the Anapanasati for the first 3 days. Long sitting of 10 hours a day, just mindfulness of breathing, normal natural breathing, and observing it, feeling the breath inside the nostrils. And only on the evening of the 3rd day, they call it day 4, you start observing the, what is called, the feelings in the body, the, let's say the sensations, physical feelings, maybe even mental feeling, but it's more the physical feelings, namely the sensations in the body from top to toe. In a systematic way, one goes from the top of the head to the toes, slowly, and start feeling all the subtle sensations throughout the body. And in that way, learn about the rising and passing of the different sensations, the temporary nature of these feelings, and also get an idea that it's the feeling is not really me, mine, myself, or my soul. So therefore, these kind of insights also come about in that way. But in these 10-day courses, they sort of stop there. They don't go into what is called the mindfulness of mind and the characteristics. The Chittanupassana and the Dhammanupassana come at a later stage if you follow another longer course of Goenka Vipassana meditation. So anyway, what we are going to do is not so complicated, it's just very simple. And in my case, I think that basically we don't have to force ourselves to do anything, because everything we need is already within us. We don't need to go anywhere to find what we're looking for. If that is actually, peace and happiness, well, then it is basically already within you. You cannot find peace and happiness outside of yourself. Maybe temporary worldly pleasure and peaceful, sounds and sights, etc., but not the real, unmixed and unconditioned peace and happiness, because that is actually already within your own mind. So therefore, the approach in our meditation is just to sit and observe, not to go anywhere, but to just be where you are from moment to moment, moment to moment, moment to moment. And then take it from there. From time to time, I'll say a few things, but there are growing gaps of silence as well. So let us sit for meditation. The body straight, yet relaxed. The eyes gently closed or half open, whatever you prefer. Letting go of all the thoughts about past and future, and bringing your attention into the present moment. At first, by feeling your feet on the floor, the body touching the cushion, the chair, becoming aware of your hands and arms, shoulders and neck, and your head, all the way to the very top of your head. Till you can feel those subtle sensations on the top of your head. And from top to toe and bottom to top, feeling the whole body sitting here now. And if you find any tensions in the body, the muscles, or in your mind, let go of these tensions by relaxing body and mind. And once you really feel that you're sitting here now, let us then develop more metta, universal loving kindness for all beings, including yourself, and starting from yourself. By wishing from your heart, may I be free from anger and fear. May I be free from greed, hatred, and delusion. May I be free from conflict and suffering, dukkha. May I be well, peaceful, and happy. May I be well and happy. Sambe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. And if you like, you can repeat this sentence, may I be well, peaceful, and happy. Or may all beings be well and happy. Silently within your mind. And after practicing Metta Bhavana for some more time, and with the tranquility that it brings, you can then shift your attention back to the present moment. And pay attention to the body, the feelings, the mind. One by one, whatever presents itself to you. Without clinging to any of these objects, without condemning any of them, without getting involved in it. You don't have to go anywhere, and you don't have to become anything special. Just being where you are and being who you are and being aware from moment to moment to moment. May all blessings come. Bhavatu Sabbamangalam. May the invisible helpers, devatas, protect us. Rakhantu Samba Devata. By the power of all enlightened ones. Samba Buddhanubhavi. By the power of all truth. Samba Dhammanubhavi. By the power of all spiritual community. Sambha Sanghanum Bhavi. May the highest happiness, Paramang Sukham, the deepest peace, Paramashanti, the greatest security, Sada Sati, ever be yours. Bhavatu Sambhavanganam Rakhantu Sambhadivata Sambhabuddhanubhavina Sada Sati Bhavantuti Bhavatu Sambhamangalam Rakhantu Sambhadivata Sambadhammanubhavina Sada Sati Bhavantuti Bhavatu Sambhamangalam Rakhantu Sambhadivata Sambhasanghanu Sada Sati Bhavantuti. Now, towards the end of the meditation, before opening your eyes, it's good to just feel your body sitting here once again, from top to toe, bottom to top. And then to gradually become aware of your surroundings, including the subtle sounds around you, near and far. And also the silence around you, and the silence within you. And while relaxing body and mind, you can slowly open your eyes.